So if you're familiar with the watch industry, you're probably also familiar with Watches and Wonders and other trade shows of the type, where brands will be able to release all of their watches in one single show for the entire year. But there's one brand in the luxury segment, one of the largest brands in the world, that does not adhere to any of these strategies for new product releases, and that is Omega. Omega releases watches throughout the year, sometimes more quietly, sometimes with a bigger announcement, but it is a little harder as a byproduct of not having one place that you can look to try to navigate what is new from the brand. So this video here today, we're gonna be looking at some of the new releases from Omega this year in 2024. We have over 30 new releases thus far that have been announced. Since there are so many watches to cover, we're going to be breezing through them pretty quickly. I will also link to a few articles down below if you want to get into the weeds a little bit deeper on some of these new releases. That includes a hands-on ownership review of the white Speedmaster Professional written by Blake Bettner. It's on the website. Also a comprehensive guide to the Omega Seamaster family in contemporary collection written by Mark Bernardo. That will also be down there. And we also have some more in-depth stories on new releases this year, including the Aqua Terra family with the lacquer dials and a lot more. If you want to check those out, they'll be in the description down below. But let's kick things off here and have a look at some of the new dials and materials of the Do-It-All Seamaster collection with the Aqua Terra. Probably one of the biggest updates within the Aqua Terra family, the biggest update this year, is going to be the new black lacquer dial versions in 38 millimeters and 41 millimeters. This includes a new lacquer dial making process, a high gloss finish that's going to come along with it. No teakwood lining here, which is typically what people associate with the Aqua Terra family, getting more of this clean, glossy look across the surface. Another notable point here, this is going to also feature an on-the-fly adjustment system with the clasp. It's not the most refined of the on-the-fly adjustment that we've seen from the brand, but a welcome addition considering this was one of the major pain points that people would bring up when looking at the Aqua Terra family. One other key differentiator is going to be the 8800 movement on the inside of the 38 millimeter version, and then the 8900 in the 41 millimeter option. Some other 41 millimeter releases include a steel model that was released roughly a week or so before the black lacquer editions, and this is a collaboration with Olympian and world record holder pole vaulter Mondo Duplantis. It delivers a familiar package with a teak blue dial that features yellow accents and a blue rubber strap. Further was the Moonshine Gold two-tone version with the black lacquer dial. And finally, there are two Moonshine Gold models featuring a green teakwood dial, one on a green rubber strap as well as a full gold bracelet model. Moving along to the new 38 millimeter Aqua Terras for this year. This was a slightly quiet release earlier this year when it was unveiled, and this is one of the most popular dials within the Aqua Terra family, now becoming available at 38 millimeters. For years, the green teakwood dial Aqua Terra was not available at 38 millimeters, but as of 2024, it now is, coming equipped with a steel case and bracelet. The 38 also gets in on the Moonshine Gold action too, with a two-tone model featuring a sunbrush burgundy lacquer, along with a gorgeous full gold version with a blue dial. Moving along to another Seamaster collection, we look at the Planet Ocean dive watches, and the headline here is the availability of 3 new colorways across 2 different models: the 43.5 millimeter Planet Ocean 600 meter divers and the 45.5 millimeter Planet Ocean 600 meter chrono diver. These deep sea monsters feature 600 meters of water resistance, helium escape valves, and a broad arrow style handset. Colorways across both of these models have been subdued with a matte dial color as opposed to the higher reflective surface that we've commonly seen from the Planet Ocean collection, now showcasing some added surface texture in the process. They include a deep gray, a silver gray with dark green accents, and then a taupe dial with bronze colored accents on that bezel. To tie the look all together, the new models feature ceramic bezels that are more brushed and fabric textured rubber straps in complementary colors. Now this next piece is one that you probably are familiar with to an extent already, or maybe familiar with to an even greater degree. This is the new Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch, now in white. Now this watch was worn by Daniel Craig at an Omega event last year in 2023, and the mystery began shortly thereafter to figure out what was this thing, but we figured out what it was and turned out to be a white dial professional moonwatch Speedmaster. So the watch has been slow to hit the shelves, yet the excitement around what is rather simple modifications still has reverberating buzz to this point. The bottom line is the new white lacquer dial simply works seamlessly with the professional moonwatch DNA. This dial process involves taking brass blanks, then adding an initial white painted layer, then apply roughly 10 layers of transparent lacquer to the dial to create the reflective glossy nature evoking enamel. The colorway is literally the inverse of the standard black dial sapphire sandwich Speedy with the added detail of the red Speedmaster text. With this following the sapphire sandwich configuration, it does have the open case back and then has small hits of polishing on the interior parts of the links of the bracelet. And then one other small detail that I didn't see many people talking about is the clasps are slightly different, not functionally, but aesthetically. The black sapphire sandwich is going to have this linear line pattern. In the white dial version, this linear pattern is going to be blackened with its tone. Now, in addition to the white Speedy, there was also some new two-tone Speedmaster Professionals that were unveiled. One in Moonshine Yellow Gold and Steel, and the other in Sedna Rose Gold and Steel. Both have similar specs to the standard Speedmaster, including the 3861 movement and the sapphire sandwich construction. Where they differentiate is the gold interior links on the bracelet, the golden accents on the dial, including the hands, and other details throughout coming in gold. The Speedmaster Professional was not the only Speedmaster that saw some new tricks in 2024. We also received a new Dark Side of the Moon Apollo 8 edition this year. So this one comes with some pretty compelling features compared to the previous version. The first and most technical feature is going to be the 3869 movement on the inside, being an upgrade from the previous version, delivering the latest generation of specifications of a coaxial escapement, silicone hairspring, and this being a master chronometer. There are also some other cool Easter eggs to be found in this watch, including a more highly detailed rendition of the lunar surface decorating both the dial and the movement side. And to cap things off, the running grade 5 titanium second hand at the 9 o'clock register has this incredibly intricate model of the Saturn V rocket. It's complete with details that you need magnification to appreciate, and thankfully we have a macro lens to help you out here. You can probably even see the small detailed USA writing along its side. The Saturn V stood 111 meters tall, or 363 feet, a height that is 60 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty. If you did an approximation on the size of this hand to the size of the actual rocket itself, it'd be 1/19,000th of the size. And finally, the new Speedmaster lineup includes 2 special editions created to commemorate the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. The chronoscope both in steel and in moonshine gold. These 43mm chronos mash up the look of the 40s Omega chronographs with the modern Speedmaster and offer multiple scales, including a telemeter, tachometer, and pulsometer scale, with all of this coming in a 2-register layout. Another Olympic edition that is garnering a lot of notice is the Paris 2024 Bronze Gold Edition, a 39mm stunner based on a vintage small seconds manual winding design from 1939. For those that follow Omega a lot, you might also recall the limited CK859 of 2022. This watch follows a similar format to that CK859, but amps up the details a bit more. The dial features an intricate guilloche style pattern, and the case itself is crafted from a gold, silver, and bronze alloy in tribute to the Olympic Games. So this watch was technically unveiled in 2023, at least from its release. However, I did want to talk about it here because it started to get more buzz and appreciation since the Olympics were this year, and this is probably my favorite Olympic watch from Omega this year. This Olympic watch comes in the form of a special Seamaster Diver 300 meter, boasting summertime looks with a bright white dial and moonshine gold detailing. The handset and dial indices are both rendered in gold, as is the laser carved relief on the dive bezel. A commemorative solid case back with a gold Olympic medallion tops off the rest of the package. So I'm a huge fan of the Omega Constellation family. The name goes back to the early 1950s, but the form of the most often seen today watches from the brand really stem from 1980s designs being defined by its griff claws along the outside of the cases, also being known as this Manhattan style case. All of this to say that the Constellation family did receive some major updates this year at 41mm. This includes a steel and black version featuring a unique 2-tone appearance with bold striping through the bezel, and there's also a nautical looking white dial version that follows the same aesthetic but done in blue. To have even more of a distinctive and eye-catching look, Omega also unveiled some meteorite dials within the Constellation family, including a gray, blue, and green, with all of these looking spectacular in person. This also was extended into the ladies line, where there were some other smaller case options available, including a lavender and a purple dial meteorite, with both of these sitting under 30mm in their case size. And then finally, the brand also extended the meteorite offerings to include versions in both full Sedna and moonshine gold for those that really want to make a statement. And finally, we have some new Ville models at 42 millimeters with their case size and bringing a complication you typically don't associate with Omega. These come with 2 options in 2-tone, one with steel and moonshine gold, and the other being steel and Sedna gold. The big story though here is the inclusion of a lovely pointer date complication, well integrated by use of a central mounted hand with a crescent shape end. The yellow gold version gets a gorgeous sun-brushed green dial, which makes the yellow gold dial details really jump out. And then the Sedna version opts for an opaline silver dial for a more timeless look. And then both of these watches feature Omega's automatic caliber, the 8936, visible in all its beautiful finish glory through the Sapphire Exhibition case back. And given the prices of these are actually some of the most attainable 2-tone watches that Omega currently has available. But all right, guys, that is our video here today, looking at basically every new Omega release from 2024. I didn't mention every single new release, but here were some of the noteworthy ones that I thought enthusiasts might appreciate. This is a brand that doesn't partake in any major event for new releases, so it's harder to really stay on what is coming out from the brand, what has come out from the brand, and what you should be familiar with. So that was the goal of this video. If you didn't find this helpful and you want us to continue to do this with other brands that maybe don't partake in these type of events and it's harder to keep track of what's coming out, let me know down in the comments down below, and then also give this video a thumbs up. Really would appreciate that as well, and be sure to subscribe. Also, definitely check out TeddyBaldister.com, full authorized dealer of 30 brands, including Omega watches. Many of these watches also being available on TeddyBaldister.com, or at least available to inquire about if you want to reach out to one of our team members. Every purchase from TeddyBaldister.com comes with a full factory warranty, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, and also any purchase also supports what we're doing here, creating new content, allows us to keep doing what we're doing here, and we love what we do. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.